1 million strong. That's right. Leftist liberals try and fail to stop the biggest Trump rally ever to officially kick off the reboot of the 2020 campaign. In this video, we're going to take a look at the comical extent to which leftists have tried to stop these rallies from happening. And we're going to look at precisely why they're trying to stop them and why they're so rightly horrified that the return of the rallies is nothing less than the beginning of the Democrats' demise. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Great to be with you. Patriots from all over the world. Dr. Steve here. Great to be with you as always. If this is your first time here at this channel, a very warm welcome to you. I post 2 videos a day analyzing current events in light of some super awesome conservative trends so that you can live in the present in light of even better things to come. So if you haven't already done so, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. This is your daily white pill. It'll be a privilege to have you as a regular part of this channel as we together celebrate the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age. And if you'll allow me, let me tease you just a real quick bit here. I'm excited to let you know that we have a major announcement coming next week. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm not telling you what it is. Several of you have emailed in asking what's going on. I'm just going to let you know there's some neat changes that you're going to love, so stay tuned. Let's start with our video chat question of the day. Do you believe that Democrats are scared to death of the new MAGA rallies? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Are the Democrats quaking in their boots over the return of the rallies? Because it sure seems so. They seem hell-bent to stop them. But like the coyote chasing after the roadrunner, we're going to find that leftist liberals only end up blowing up themselves. But first, Father's Day is here, and you can now let Dad put floodlights anywhere he wants around the home or office without spending a fortune. The brand new ultra bright wireless floodlight with motion detectors makes it incredibly easy to light up all the dark spots in your yard. You can install it anywhere because it's wireless, and you never need to worry about buying batteries because it is solar powered with a high-powered battery storage pack. It's equipped with motion detectors, and it becomes even an entertainment light for the patio and the barbecue just with a click of a button. So, speaking of a click of a button, best of all, you don't have to spend a fortune to do it. If you click on the link below right now, you'll get 52% off as well as free shipping. So what could be better? Don't wait. Click on that link below or visit nightsolarlight.com and get Dad the perfect gift this Father's Day. All right, gang, this is just too good. Let's dive right in here, shall we? After weeks of massive protests gathering across the country that leftist liberals applauded. No, they didn't just applaud. They lauded them. They revered them. These same leftist liberal officials who were locking up small business owners just a few weeks prior to the protest. They were locking up these small business owners for just trying to put food on their tables and feed their kids. These very same left-wing radical officials cheered, they claimed, they encouraged mass gatherings of protests against President Trump in this supposedly systemically racist nation, regardless of the very social distancing and small business owners were just a week prior unforgivable transgressors of. After 2 weeks of what can only be considered, objectively speaking, collective amnesia on the part of these public officials, well, what do you know? Suddenly their memory is back. What do you suddenly? It's almost without explanation. They suddenly, in a flash, and all together too, interestingly enough, in a flash of remembrance, they suddenly come back to their senses, and once again they're worried. Nay, they're obsessed with the return of the coronavirus and the undeniable need to social distance. And what, pray tell, what could have caused a sudden flash of recollection? Well, what do you know? It all coincided with the return of the Trump rallies. It all coincided with conservatives gathering together in numbers that leftist liberals could only dream about, indicating an enthusiasm for our presidential candidate that leftist liberals wish they had for theirs. Make no mistake, leftists are panicked over the level of enthusiasm and intensity and determination that Trump voters have for their candidate because they know that their candidate, who of course is the perfect candidate for those experiencing collective amnesia, their candidate is about as disappointing and demoralizing as one could get. And nothing exemplifies this more than the response the Trump campaign got when they announced the return of the rallies scheduled, this one for Tulsa, Oklahoma, literally in a matter of just days after the announcement. The Trump campaign revealed that over 1 million tickets had been sent out for the rally coming up this weekend, setting a new record for a Trump event. Now, this does not work for the left, okay? They're trying to portray the Trump presidency as a national emergency that only anyone from the Obama administration could come back and bring to an end. So their candidate, Joe Biden, it's irrelevant that he can't talk or, he couldn't gather more than 60 people to hear him speak. That doesn't matter because he's going to bring an end to this national emergency of Trump burning the nation down. But when Trump gathers 1 million adoring fans and fires them up to come out en masse and win the 2020 election in a total and complete blowout, that's a mortal threat to liberal Democrats. And so leftist liberals have decided that they were going to do anything and everything they possibly could to stop the return of the rallies. So first, they tried to virus shame the Trump administration, saying that the mass gatherings were a health risk. But then they got completely shut down. I don't know if you saw this. It was wonderful. Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. She was peppered with these gotcha questions from CNN's chief White House propagandist, Jim Acosta, who was acting very concerned. He was very concerned that people could be getting sick at these rallies. It's just so funny. He's such an actor. And so in response, Kayleigh holds up the front page of the New York Post, showing on the one side a mass left-wing liberal gathering of Black Lives Matter trans protesters. The media was fawning over and celebrating. And then on the other side, just a clump of people gathered together like, they might be doing at a parking lot a Trump rally. And that, my friends, is a mortal threat to the survival of the human race. And of course, in a massive bold letters there on that cover, you have hypocrisy splashed across the page. So she completely shut down CNN's chief White House propagandist, Jim Acosta, or Acosta, as we like to refer him to. Remember, these are not journalists. These are not journalists in the press conferences. They are hecklers. They're hecklers disguised as reporters, okay? They're not journalists, and you know that. That their sole function in these press conferences is to act as hecklers. So virus shaming didn't work, and so they turned to the courts, the law courts. Have you seen this? The former lawyer for the porn star Stormy Daniels. No, I'm not talking about the creepy porn lawyer Michael Avenatti. Another lawyer of hers, a fellow by the name of Clark Brewster. He actually went so far as to file a lawsuit seeking an injunction against Trump's Tulsa rally set for Saturday. And his argument, if you could believe this, he actually tried to argue that the rally would be a, quote, super spreader event of the COVID-19 virus. And so they wanted the rally either shut down or radically restrictive measures imposed upon it. Now, are you seeing a pattern here? The left does not want these rallies coming back. They are scared to death of these rallies, and you know why. Because they represent nothing less than the counter-protests across the country against all the looters and rioters that are hell-bent on destroying everything we hold dear. And they know this. Leftists know this. They know that their protests actually pale in comparison to the surge in the sea of Trump rallies that are about to flood this nation and overwhelm the voting booths in November. They know that. They know that Trump rallies have the effect of completely and totally countering the left-wing Marxist media's narrative that Trump is some kind of existential threat to our nation. No, they are. And you know this. It doesn't matter if you're actually there in attendance at the rally or if you're just watching online all together, all of us. Participants in a Trump rally just get a sense of this amazing awe and excitement of cheering together, right? There's a sense that we all get of, wow, we really are the majority. We really are winning. This really is a mass movement that's sweeping our nation and the world. The left has purposely tried to make each one of us feel like strangers in our own land, with the globalist recalibration of society and politics, with the redefinitions in our culture, where customs and traditions that were once considered right and good are now tarnished by our political leaders as intolerant and bigoted and discriminatory. But when we come together at a Trump rally, either in person or online, there's just this overwhelming sense that we've found our country again. There's an enormous release of emotional energy that we're no longer strangers in our own land. We finally have someone we can cheer for. We have a champion. We have someone who's going to go into the ring and take on our enemies. And they see him as an existential threat to everything they believe and want to implement. And so this is why the left is doing everything they can to shut these events down. And again, even in the courts, it ain't working. Just the other day, an Oklahoma judge tossed the lawsuit and refused to issue a court order to stop the rally scheduled for this Saturday. The left failed again. Make no mistake, this Trump train is unstoppable. As Trump rightly recognizes, this is not a campaign. This is a movement. A movement here in the States and around the world to restore our national sovereignty from a dying liberal globalist order, to secure our borders, to bring our manufacturing jobs back home, and to unite our people in a common Christian culture that celebrates our traditions and customs, that express in the most human affirming of terms a love of country and nation and people. This is what the Trump rallies are all about, and they just got a whole lot bigger. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on the massive backlash against Google trying to ban conservative websites. A backlash that's causing Google to utterly panic. It's going to absolutely make your day. So make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.